Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name's Rich Tarani. Thanks for watching. We're coming to you from San Jose. On our program today is Ananda Rajagopal, and he's a Senior Director of Product Management and Product Marketing for the Service Provider Division of Brocade. Ananda, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So I wanted to just talk briefly about your company and some of the segments that you're covering. And actually, before you talk about that, give me just a 30-second overview on what's happening at Brocade.
So Brocade as a company is a $2 billion company, and we operate in 3 key market segments, the enterprise campus LAN, service providers, as well as data centers. As you know, Brocade acquired Foundry Networks about 18 months back, and since then we have diversified our product line to offer not only storage area switches, but also IP routers and switches, as well as application load balancers for the broad market that covers all 3 segments.
Now, how does your company benefit by being able to provide a wider array of solutions for carriers?
From the point of view of carriers and service providers, they see us more of a strategic partner now, because we're almost in 90% of the service provider data centers today. So they get to work with us not only from the point of view of storage switches, but also IP routers, IP switches for the core of the network, for the edge of the network. So as a strategic vendor, the value that we bring to their network becomes much broader than what it would have been otherwise.
Now, in terms of the different divisions, products that you're selling, can you take us through anything interesting in those markets? Like, what's happening in each of those markets, from storage to application acceleration, et cetera?
Sure. So let me talk about the service provider side. So we've introduced a new set of modules for a flagship platform, which effectively doubled the capacity, the scale, and the performance of those platforms over the last 1 month. So we launched it in June, have received incredible amount of traction for those modules. It's an 8-port 10 gigabit Ethernet module with which we can now scale up the platform to 256 ports of 10 gigabit Ethernet in just a single router. So in its class of products, it's almost twice that of anything else that's available in the market today. We've also announced a very aggressive plan in terms of 100 gigabit Ethernet. In fact, we had a very successful customer summit a couple of months back, and based on the interest, we've actually started taking orders for 100 gigabit Ethernet right now. So we're very excited about the opportunities that we have in this space. I think these are just 2 examples of where Brocade is investing in, and the value that Brocade brings to carriers and service providers.
And are you seeing a combination of video and LTE being some of the drivers?
Absolutely. So video, as I say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So it also means a lot of traffic for networks. So service providers have to kind of keep pace with the demands of social networking, ubiquitous internet, the fact that mobility is now kind of taken as a fact of life, and what we're doing on cell phones today is not just text-based email, but a lot of video as well. So I think that's clearly prompting a lot of upgrades in mobile networks, and what it also means is that the service providers have to keep pace at an economic point in terms of scaling those networks.
And that's actually my next question. We know that the amount of bandwidth that customers are using is going nowhere but up. YouTube recently announced this week that they've got, I think, a new 4K upload for video, which is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, video which you can watch best on a 20-foot diagonal screen. In other words, we are talking about some super high bandwidth video formats that are coming down the road, and it's not even taking into account 3D video, which is right around the corner, where we're gonna see more and more of that.
Yeah.
And then you've got prices for broadband generally coming down. We know obviously AT&T and Sprint and some of the other vendors are changing their pricing models, but how does your company play into this model where bandwidth requests are going up or bandwidth usage increases, pricing in general seems to be coming down? How do you fit in there?
Right. So I think this is a fantastic question, because in my view, at no point in the history of networking has cost per bit as a parameter been as important as today, for all the reasons that you just outlined. Um, providers, service providers are incredibly focused today in terms of optimizing the cost per bit, because the gap between revenue and what it takes to upgrade the infrastructure is constantly shrinking. So as a vendor, it's a fantastic challenge for us to rise to the occasion, and we have some great intellectual property in terms of the ASICs that go into our platforms. The secret sauce, the technology that powers this, is what helps to have more packed into a single router, which effectively means that a lower cost per bit can be achieved and kind of passed on to our customers.
And so that's really what it's all about these days, right? Carriers are laser focused, like you said, on ensuring they're putting equipment into their networks that guarantees them a rapid return on investment.
Absolutely. Scale, performance, economics, those are kind of the three legs of the stool that providers are focused on.
Now, I only have time for one more question, so it's going to be, what's next for your company?
So we are very focused on 100 gigabit Ethernet, and we believe that that's a fantastic opportunity for Brocade to showcase the strength of the products that it has. And you'll see when the products are announced that we have a scale that is remarkably different from anything else that the competition has. And beyond that, of course, in the data center and the enterprise space as well, we have some extremely aggressive plans in terms of rolling out new solutions and new products for those respective segments.
Well, you're welcome back to the TMC Newsroom anytime to share some of your upcoming either wins, customer wins, or new product announcements. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.